Niger suspends BBC for 3 months over reporting on attack. Authorities in Niger have suspended the operations of BBC in the country for 3 months, accusing the broadcaster of spreading false news related to its coverage of a recent extremist attack. The decision was announced by the country's communications ministry, which ordered all partner radio stations relaying BBC content to immediately stop airing its programs. What led to the suspension? The suspension stems from a BBC report in Hausa that claimed gunmen had killed more than 90 Nigerian soldiers and over 40 civilians in 2 villages near the border with neighboring Burkina Faso. However, Niger's authorities rejected these figures and denied that any such attack had occurred. They described the report as a destabilizing falsehood and said it aimed to undermine both public order and the morale of the troops. In a public statement, Minister of Communication Railiu Sidi Mohammed directed radio stations that rebroadcast BBC content to suspend the broadcaster's programs with immediate effect. Meanwhile, the BBC said it does not have comment on the suspension. Government action also targets other foreign outlets. Alongside the suspension of the BBC, Niger's military government announced it would file a complaint against Radio France Internationale, RFI, accusing the French state-owned outlet of incitement to genocide and intercommunity massacre. The authorities described RFI's reporting on the same events as part of a widespread disinformation campaign. The move is part of a broader pattern in which Niger, along with a number of neighboring states in the Sahel region, has tightened control over foreign media under its rule, particularly coverage of security and insurgency-related developments. What this means for media, security, and public perception. Press freedom under pressure. The suspension underscores the precarious state of media freedom in conflict-prone regions. By cutting off BBC broadcasts, a leading international news source, Niger's authorities severely limit public access to independent reporting on security issues. Information control amid security crisis. The government's decision reflects its effort to control the narrative around jihadist attacks and insurgency in the Sahel, a region already plagued for years by militant violence. Regional implications. Given the transnational nature of militancy and insurgency in the Sahel, restrictions on media reporting may affect not only domestic public perception but also international awareness and humanitarian or security responses. Backlash from media watch groups. International press freedom watchdogs, including Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, have condemned the decision, calling on Niger's government to reverse the suspension and uphold freedom of expression and information. Conclusion. The suspension of BBC broadcasts in Niger marks a significant escalation in the government's control over media coverage of security events. By deeming a major international news outlet's reporting false and moving to silence it, while simultaneously targeting other foreign outlets, Niger's authorities have further tightened the information environment in a region already beset by conflict. For citizens, journalists, and observers alike, the decision raises serious concerns about transparency, accountability, and the public's right to know.